Palantir Stock has seen numerous deals in the past week, and on today's episode, I want to take a closer look at each of them individually and kind of just share my overall thoughts. As you guys know, Palantir, I first covered it when it was roughly $8 when the company announced this AIP, its artificial intelligence platform, and that really kind of blew my mind, especially thanks to kind of my engineering background and the work I used to do at a contractor, a defense contractor for the United States government that really kind of pushed me to look into the stock a little bit more. Luckily, I got into the position, and now Palantir, through pure gains from its stock price, is almost up 100%. So I'm super excited, and it has become almost a 3% position in my portfolio. Right, it's nothing too crazy, but it's definitely something that is making certain movements in my account. So for that reason, I want to make sure to keep up to date, especially those who might have watched the video with me and want to kind of keep up to date with this stock. So let's take a closer look in today's episode. First, I think it's impressive how in just 3 days, the company announced numerous partnerships, right? 3 different partnerships and all hitting in different markets, right? The first one we're going to take a closer look at is one that deals with the government. Then we're going to deal one with that hits with the manufacturing aspect and kind of a huge clouding giant. And then another one that kind of hits the supply chain as well as maybe the manufacturing. And I think they all provide some great synergies and provide some great expansion possibilities for the company. So let's start off with the first one. So this came out on June 5th of 2023, so roughly 3 days ago. And Palantir announced that it was awarded a contract from the U.S. Special Operations Command to deliver technology solutions to support enterprise capabilities. The multi-year contract is worth up to $463 million. First, I want to say usually when you kind of get a U.S. contract or a U.S. government contract, it tends to be a very sticky revenue. Like I mentioned, I've seen it firsthand through kind of my work experience of how kind of once a contract is up, you tend to usually just get a renewal, especially if you're keeping up to date and you met the demands and kind of the achievements you had to meet along the process of that contract. So I mean, with the U.S. government, 463 million, they have a nice amount of cash, a nice amount of wallet on their side, right? So I do believe this is a good win, and it kind of just shows the strength of them and that partnership they have with the United States government. They do mention that Palantir is driving rapid innovations across its defense portfolio. This include advancements in large language models, LLMs, to reduce cognitive load on warfighters and commanders, which makes pretty much sense. That's pretty much what this kind of AI advancement that we're seeing right now, especially with large language models, is to kind of reduce that kind of thinking of certain information, right? Kind of just give all the information to hand and just kind of give the most important thing to what they need to know. The other thing is they are also making advancements in edge processing and edge AI, which is very important, especially when you're kind of utilizing real-time information. And real-time information is something that I think is going to continue to improve from here. Real-time information is when you need your system to kind of make a decision in an instant, right, on real time based on all the sensors. Here for Palantir could be something like maybe aiming, shooting at something, or determining which one is the immediate threat opposed to maybe numerous attacks happening simultaneously. So, I mean, real-time information and kind of this edge processing and edge AI is definitely needed, not only here for kind of the United States government, but things like autonomous driving, right, where you need the car to kind of make those decisions in a real-time system. So I am really happy that the company is focusing on things like large language models. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, the Palantir AIP is what really kind of drove me into this business. Like I mentioned, I've worked as an electrical engineer. I used to work for a general defense contract for the government. And I saw how this kind of market moves. And for them to kind of introduce this platform and really have it ready for the defense industry, I thought was kind of insane. So I'm pretty excited about that. The other thing is I'm really happy again with that kind of edge processing and edge AI. You need to be able to do certain information at the edge and not at the cloud, because it's going to take too much time to process data, especially when you need to kind of commit and do something at that moment. So I think that's pretty great. I really like it. The most important thing is, hey, the United States government, it kind of shows the strength of Palantir and its software. It's kind of it even though it's a $500 million contract, but this tends to be sticky revenue in the long term of things. So I'm also super excited about that.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
Now, if we take a closer look at the second news, this came out on June 6th of 2023, and Palantir, a leading builder of operating systems for the modern enterprise, announced the launch of Palantir Foundry for manufacturing on Amazon Web Services. And for those that are not familiar, Foundry for manufacturing on AWS is a comprehensive solution that helps manufacturers integrate and contextualize their data assets and unlock powerful applications such as yield optimization, dynamic maintenance, production scheduling, and computer vision quality detection. One of the main challenges that this kind of foundry for manufacturing faces or addresses is the challenges of fragmented data systems with high barrier to access data, responding to the frequent value chain disruption and widespread talent and skills shortages. And for those that are not familiar with fragmented data, data fragmentation occurs when data distributed across different systems and locations, either the cloud and or premise, stops organizations from achieving full visibility and control of the data and from maximizing the potential value of that data. So one thing, especially in manufacturing, right, you have all these sensors. You might have like a visualization sensor. You might have a heat sensor. You might have some other sensors. You might also be collecting data manually. And you're collecting data in so many different places, sometimes manual, sometimes digital, sometimes in network, sometimes local. And sometimes that data gets lost or it doesn't kind of go to the right place. And because you're not utilizing your full data to the full potential, you're not finding ways to kind of optimize that manufacturing aspect, optimizing your line. So with this is kind of helping kind of get all that data together through Palantir and kind of all their kind of consultation engineers as well, and kind of putting all that together to help improve the aspect of all that data that a company is collecting and they're not using to their full potential. They even gave some cool examples here. For example, Foundry is quickly becoming the primary operating system at Integrity Tool and Mode's largest plant in Windsor, Canada. And the director of operations at this company mentions that they are now connecting to data points that they previously could not access and injecting them back into their system in order to improve operational efficiency and quality, just like I was talking about. So that's some great news. Next, we also see another example from Panasonic Energy. A Panasonic Group company recently deployed Foundry on AWS at its Panasonic Energy of North America facility in Sparks, Nevada. This is also going to go to the next news we have, but this is pretty cool. The third one that they mentioned is Jacobs, one of the largest engineering and technical service companies, developed a process optimization and dynamic maintenance solution suite in Palantir Foundry that connects productivity AI modeling with day-to-day site operations to improve energy and chemical usage across plant sites. In 6 months, Jacobs achieved a 20% annual reduction in plant-wide energy utilization at the pilot site location, and the company is now scaling to multiple plant locations. So we all know Palantir software is expensive, but the reason it's expensive is because it's able to do this, help with 20% annual reduction in plant-wide energy and so many other improvements which make it worth its cost. And we can see from this company, Jacobs, they believe it's worth the cost, and they're kind of focusing it and kind of expanding into multiple plant locations. So the reason I like the foundry for manufacturing is this kind of expand approach. The manufacturing business, in my opinion, especially when you're manufacturing something, you're hitting a lot of supply chain companies. You're hitting a lot of big companies. You're hitting a lot of small companies. You're hitting whoever the full product is going to go to whoever's kind of providing that raw material. And I do believe if you're kind of showcasing as a manufacturing company, hey, look, through this software, I am improving my energy bill. I'm improving my utilization line. I'm improving my maintenance skills. I'm improving the longevity of my equipment. And you kind of talk to other suppliers about it, it's kind of going to spread throughout, maybe not through wildfire, but it has the opportunity to spread like that. And pretty weird to say wildfire with everything that's happening right now. So maybe bad choice of words there. But in my opinion, this is pretty good and kind of it's going to help expand into maybe other companies that might get pushed because how some of these companies might be talking so highly of Palantir and their solutions. Now, the final one that I want to take a closer look at came out on June 7th. So, yesterday, Palantir and Panasonic Energy, a Panasonic group company, a global leader in high quality lithium ion batteries, today announced a multi year partnership to deliver an operations smart factory for the Panasonic Energy of North America facility in Sparks, Nevada. The company has selected Palantir's foundry to help integrate edge sensors across factory lines, introduce automated efficiencies, and enable operation users on factory floors to leverage connected operations. So very similar to what I was just talking about in the previous report, how this kind of expand. I mean, first, Panasonic is a leading company in technology. So in my opinion, if some of its competitors, especially here in the emerging market of EVs and kind of battery development, is seeing, hey, Panasonic is using this for certain reasons. Maybe us as a competitor should not be left behind and see what this big talk of Palantir is. So again, it kind of just showcases the opportunity of expansion. It's not a guarantee, but I do believe it sparks, get it, Sparks, Nevada, where this place is. It sparks a kind of, it could spark a fire of potential future people being more interested in Palantir and its software. They do mention that driven by Foundry and informed by this Panasonic Energy North America group expertise, the smart factory will be utilized across the entirety of the information technology and operational organization with Panasonic. Using Foundry, the system will guide operation decision making in their existing Nevada factory, as well as the new facility in DeSoto, Kansas, starting in 2025. So not only was I forgot to mention, right? Not only for potential the expansion of maybe some of Panasonic competitors, but also the expansion of Panasonic themselves. Panasonic is a huge company which hits in numerous industries. First, we're seeing it here in the energy department, which is kind of focusing on lithium batteries, but they have numerous other operations. Panasonic is a huge company, and maybe the directors of Pana, or however they want to go with, can go to some other organization in Panasonic and be like, hey, look, you guys need to get onto this Palantir wave, and it can kind of spark that hope or that potential of future partnerships for Palantir and Panasonic. The Chief Information Officer of Panasonic Energy North America mentioned that within Foundry, they were able to operationalize their data and within months reduce waste throughout their manufacturing process. They do mention that already they are seeing significant return on investment per year, and they're just getting started. So we can see Palantir has definitely kind of seen some great news in the past week alone. And year to date, the stock is up. It should be up a nice amount. It's up over 140%. Luckily, like I mentioned, for me, I did get into it at a great time. Personally, right now, I'm not purchasing it, but that's because for me, Palantir is still very new and already kind of being 3% through pure gains. I'm kind of more sitting back a little bit more and kind of waiting for more of these press releases, waiting for more information on some of their product lines. You guys know me. I'm huge into the semiconductor market. Semiconductor companies are a big bulk in my portfolio, but thanks to semiconductors, I kind of also get to focus in AI. And thanks to AI, I got to get into this amazing company of Palantir. So for me personally, I'm not purchasing at these levels, but that's because I'm already pretty excited with my position. And at the moment, because it's still such a small 3%, I have no intentions of selling, but it's one that I will let continue to run. And if we do see a pullback, maybe into the tens, I would probably gladly buy some more and kind of continue to increase my share here. So let me know, what are your thoughts on Palantir at the moment? Are you buying? Are you selling? Take care. Have a good day and see you next time.